Greetings, contractor. I do hope you've been enjoying your downtime. Doing whatever it is you humans do when you're not engaged in some kind of menial labor just to pay the bills and stay alive. But yes, it seems we might have a job for you here. Come and see me in Cluster 13 when you get the chance.
Another adventure full of blood, guts, and glory? Never a dull moment tagging along with you, Flesh.
So, you made it after all. Some of us were beginning to wonder just how ready for action you'd be, so soon after recent events. Here you are, and as a free agent, no less. Moving up in the world. I wouldn't get too confident, though. I think you'll find your time as an indent was just the training wheels, and now the real ride is about to start. So, Y-Corp has a job for you. It's in a place you've never been to before. A zone some like to call the Dark Playground. It's in an area owned and operated by Malhorst Gelb, populated by corporate lifers, the elite of the elite. It's not for the faint of heart, but then, we wouldn't have asked you here if we didn't think you were up to the job. I want you to head over to the DP and see our contact, a man who calls himself Ontario. You can find him at his restaurant, located just off the dock when you first arrive. You can't miss it. To get there, you'll need to take a shuttle from the departure bay in the Edge. We'll mark it on your map. So, do you still have questions? Or is everything pretty clear now? Like I said, this place, it's not like anywhere you've been before. You'll be dealing with high-level mercs everywhere you go, so tread lightly. I highly, highly recommend you do everything you can not to break the surface tension of this new world. Feeling a little slow today? Take a shuttle from the departure bay found inside the Edge. We'll mark it on your map. Ontario. He's our local fixer in the DP. Knows anyone worth knowing, and can put you in touch with whoever you need. That having been said, when you first meet him, try not to stare. You'll see what I mean when you get there. Observe the protocol, contractor. Ontario will tell you everything you need to know. However, as a token of our goodwill, let's just say there's someone that has something we want, and we want that someone extracted. Ontario can tell you more. Observe the protocol. Like I said, I highly, highly recommend. Taking an interest now, are we? Well, look around. Life's been grand. What can I say? Ever since the clusterfuck that was the Menshen shit show, not to mention the requisite cleanup that came right after. Oh, we've been quite busy here. Well, it wasn't exactly what we expected now, was it? Those interdimensional beings coming on through. And here I was, just getting used to the idea of a mega-corporation as the highest form of life in the galaxy. Go see our man Ontario. Do what he tells you. And remember, it's a different world over there. You've got high-level corporate-sponsored mercs running around everywhere. Keep your head on your shoulders. Be cool, and do not fuck this up.
This is the feed, and I'm forever Grateful Abbott. My dear audience, I have learned things almost too incredible to accept. Truths better not known. Facts that should have stayed buried. But I remain your Grateful Abbott, and the feed must be fed. Many heard the distant sounds of fighting coming from the sub-levels recently.
Wow, Flesh. This really is the Dark Playground. I've never seen so many organic life forms looking so well off, and yet so utterly miserable at the same time. Fascinating. Looks like Ontario's place is due northeast, just past Trader's Row.
On a withered branch, the crow settles. Autumn evening. My, look what the cat dragged in. I'm Ontario. Kira sent word you'd be coming, I must say. You took your sweet time getting here. So, now, let's see if it was worth the wait. First things first, all you need to know, right now, is that you'll be on a need-to-know basis going forward. And what you need to know, right now, is that I am the man round here. The local man. I know people. They know people. And these people, they know how to get things. Things we need. You'll be one of my people while you're here. Under my protection, such as it is. As for the gig, there's something I need you to get for me. And it ain't a thing, it's a person. I need you to find and then extract a scientist working for one of the megacorps. A would-be defector. As for the finding part, you know what this is? It's a hollow imprint. A record of a certain series of transactions from the net. See, a few cycles back, someone made an anonymous post on the Twilight Net. Now, the T-Net is where you get all the real biz happening, all right? What our corporate overlords might call the dark web. But what I like to think of as simply free and unrestricted trade. And this anonymous poster, whoever it was, said they were going to look to defect from their parent corporation. And they were going to bring a certain game-changing technology with them. Corporations, though, well, they don't like it so much when their life has run out. So as you can imagine, this person's going to have a hell of a time making that move. And that is where you come in. This technology, we want it. Malor's Gelb, I'm sure you know them all too well by now, saw the post and made an immediate move. Now, they have the very same hollow imprint courtesy of our fine friends at Onyx Void, which has the same data that can track down the whereabouts of the poster. So, the race is on, to see who can find the defector and their technology first. They have an army with unlimited money and resources, and let me tell you, one real motherfucker as their chief head of security. Doubtless who you'll bump into at some point along the way. We, on the other hand, have you. Any questions? We don't know who the would-be defector is, or anything about them. All we know is they have access to a certain technology what we want, and the MG will stop at nothing to get it. All we have to go on now is the hollow imprint. It'll point the way to the defector's location. The details I'll leave up to you. But you know the phrase, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. You know why that is? Because if you don't make the very best possible first impression here, you'll be fucking dead. I mean it. So what else do you need? I don't know if Kira already told you, but they call this place the Dark Playground. Corporate lifers who've given up everything to their company. People who've somehow managed to convince themselves of living a good life. But of course, the reality is, they're a bunch of sad, miserable bastards. Mallows Gelp, it's like any other corporation. You join for life, and they don't take kindly to anyone who floats the idea of leaving. So now we have an emerging market opportunity. Contractors who come in and make these defections a little less deadly. That's why you're here. Now, MG and the Ascent group have been at each other's throats for how many cycles? God knows. Maybe. But I don't think he cares. That's rather above your pay grade, wouldn't you say? I like you, Agent, but let's not kid ourselves. You're still on a need-to-know basis, and you don't fucking need to know. Look, find the defector and bring them in with their technology intact. That's the job. The hollow imprint is a log, like I said. It will show you where this would-be defector last keyed in from. Find that location, and you can pick up the trail from there. Of course, MG's are on the trail and all, so you best get your arse moving, and quick. The Twilight Net, it's the local dark web. The last bastion of completely free and unrestricted trade that anyone can access round here. You want some black market cyber? You want a military-grade icebreaker? You want someone offed? The T-Net is the place to go. That's where the defector made their post, so that's where you're gonna start looking, with the hollow imprint. Oh, Kira and I go way back. Don't you worry. I put up with her ruthless ambition. She puts up with my... how can I put it? My personal little foibles. Like the suit, dear? Yeah, it's always been a personal favourite of mine. Why? Is there anything in particular you might be wondering about it? So what else do you need? Right then. Best you get going. And if Kira didn't mention it, then I'm telling you now. Walk softly here. We're looking for subtle, not full guns blazing. You get me?
We'll need to access a local comms node in order to see exactly where the defector logged in. Scanning. Scanning. Looks like there's an access hatch to the comm service tunnel in the industrial zone. Due northwest of here. Wow! Did you see the gore spread out all across his chest? Oh, so fashionable. Don't you think, Flesh? I wonder if that qualifies as ready to wear. I bet you'd look great in something like that. Pity that suit costs more than you'll earn in 500 cycles. There's a lot of interference here, but I think I found the access point to the comm service tunnel. We can get in over here.
Get away from me!
Once we access the local node, we'll run the hollow imprint and see where the defector last signed in from, when they put up that anonymous post. We find their terminal, and chances are we'll find them too. Side income opportunity. That's a bounty of low rank.
Please, I'm unarmed!
I've traced the origin of the post, Flesh. It came from a POD located inside the Ratatosker vert den, down in the commercial lane of the main harbor. Apparently, these vert dens are all the rage these days, amongst all you dopamine-addicted organics. Jack into a VR world and experience life any way you want to, as a rich and famous playboy, athlete, speed crush racer. I guess for some, the promise of the virtual will always be so much better than the real waking reality. Eh, Flesh? Protect our investment. Protect the Ascent group. Defend against all intruders. The TNet server we're looking for is somewhere here on site. Look at all these organics jacked into their dream worlds. Living lives they can only imagine, never wanting to leave. Doesn't bode well for your kind, does it, Flesh? Accessing server logs. Analyzing keystrokes. Success. We've got it. Now let's see here. It looks like the identity of our anonymous poster is one Dr. Issa Lindstrom. Querying database. Dr. Issa Lindstrom, lifer with BioChoice Pharma, currently residing at the Apex Apartment Housing Complex in the admin zone. Second floor, suite 238. Let's get moving, Flesh. Dr. Lindstrom's suite is just ahead. We're looking for 238, on the second floor. Come on, Flash. Not even someone with your limited mental capacity could hope to get lost in here. And here we are. Dr. Lindstrom's place.
You know it's customary here to remove your shoes when entering someone's home. But then I guess we can assume this isn't your typical social call. Now is it? I can save us both some time if you like, Agent. If you're here for the ruby, I don't have it. At least it isn't here on me. So, now that's that out of the way, what do you have for me? Defecting. Is that what they're calling it? I think seeking asylum might be more appropriate given the circumstances, wouldn't you say? Regardless, clearly the encryption at the Vert Den is a fucking joke. Which means I can look forward to how many more contractors soiling my carpet? Yes? Well, I have a few offers on the table at the moment, yes. Everyone playing the game we all have to play in situations like these. Your coming here is a little unorthodox, but if that means you're ready to make a deal, well then, I'm all ears. Yes? Well? Sounds like you're relatively new to all this. Welcome to your new world, Agent, where your employer never tells you anything at all. What did they say? Need-to-know basis. Was that it? Sounds about right. I feel for you, Agent. I really do. It can be frustrating working like this. A tiny cog in a huge lumbering machine. Never quite certain who you're working for, who's actually pulling your strings from the top. Hard to know what's right then, isn't it? If you never really know what you're doing, or who you're doing it for. What you're here for, the Ruby, it's the culmination of my life's work, the game changer. For countless megacycles, mankind has dreamt of
between your boots and her brains, this carpet has definitely seen better days, Flesh. When life gives you lemons, throw a Let's take Dr. Lindstrom's security pass. It'll let us walk right into BioChoice Pharma. As far as first dates go, that definitely could have gone better. Look at that. She's so much younger in her security photo. So much more alive. Who knew being a corporate lifer could take so much out of you?
You know, I've got to give it to you, Agent. Wherever you go, death seems to follow. This ain't exactly what I meant by fucking subtle, now is it? But let's not get sidetracked here. We lost a defector, yeah. But her technology is still the goal. Sounds like she told you a little more than we were expecting. So, I guess you just got bumped up one level on your need-to-know basis. We need you to grab the ruby from BioChoice Pharma. Don't ask questions, don't think, just get moving.
So, how do you like my handiwork? Quite the shot, wouldn't you say? I do apologize for the blowback, but after calibrating for wind resistance and the likely thickness of the shielded glass, well, high velocity really was the only way to go.
Ah, there he is. Devil himself. MG's head of security. Thought we'd be hearing from you.
Oh, I've been here all along, amusing myself as best I can. I'm sure you must know by now, this little errand of yours is completely without purpose. Maller's Guild wants the ruby, and we shall have it. You can't possibly stand up to us.
Is that right? And what have you been doing in the interim? Just biding your time?
As entertaining as I find all this, you will not get in my way. We've had fun, yes, but from here on out, there will be only pain. The ruby will be ours, and there is nothing you can do to stop us. That is all.
Over the wintry forest, winds howl in rage, with no leaves to blow.
Oh, an educated man. In that case, might I humbly invite you to start composing your death poem?
Charming as ever. Just you keep on going, Agent. And watch yourself. This one's playing for keeps.
Sight.
Head through the office spaces until you reach the restricted area. Dr. Lindstrom's pass should get us through the security checkpoint.
Ja, ja, ja.
Step by step, up the summer mountain. And then, suddenly, the sea. This, my friends, is the ruby. I know you got questions, and I just might have some answers, but let me assure you, this is not the fucking time. So, given that you waltzed in there oh so easily, why don't we see if you can just pick it up and walk right back out with it? And maybe, just maybe, no one will be the wiser. You had one job. Well, best get a move on then. Well, it's just one clusterfuck after another this time out, isn't it? Sit tight for a moment. We just might have a chance at a Hail Mary here. Right. I want you to make a beeline for the overpass at the far northwest corner of the Canary Mech factory. That gunship that came for you is flying off towards the Malorskelt military base. Security's way too tight going by there, but we found a private train pulling out soon and heading in the same direction. So get your ass over there and see if you can catch a ride. An agent, this road, no one goes down it. Autumn evening. Anything you need to do before you get on that train, get it done.
Truly, I thought you'd put up more of a fight. I was so looking forward to little one-on-one action. It's been so long since I've been able to properly test my skills.
Don't listen to him. He's just trying to bait you. The last thing you want to do is engage with this crazy bastard head on. Believe me. Just keep on going, Agent. The Ruby's what's important here. Not this Class A lunatic who's got nothing better to do than murder people for sport.
Just my luck.
Save yourself!
Ah, yes. Just the person I was looking for. You can call me Nielsen. Yes, obviously, for the time being. So it seems you have exactly the assets I need right now. Chief among them being your distinct lack of, company ties. Interested? Splendid! I'm so pleased you want to know more. One look at you, and I knew you would do the job. There's a mech factory nearby. And it wouldn't be a terrible thing, let's just say, if that mech factory were to experience some manufacturing delays. I won't need you to do any hacking, of course, nothing with the sword. In fact, we already have just the Carlin for the job. Now, what I need you to do is convey the virus we've already developed into the mech factory. A simple drop-off, really. First, meet with our hacker. He'll support you from here. Report back here when the job is done. We'll make it roll with you.
The relentless drive to climb the corporate ladder. It's so interesting, don't you think, Flesh? How the layout of your primitive biological system dictates all your actions throughout your entire life. It's like you're driven to swim upstream.
Expecting you. Yes, we have the virus here. A true work of art. Exactly 108 lines of code. A more beautiful poem you'll never see. But never mind all that, never mind. We must attribute ownership to the virus. Now, you see, we must ascribe it to another. That way, mechs get slow. Production is delayed. The owner takes the blame and our mutual friend steps in, cleans up the mess. You understand? Take the virus on this chipset and head to Apex Residential Apartment 234. Once inside, you'll find the ID of the current shift manager. He'll be the one to take the fall. Quick, quick, no time to waste!
Tell me, Flesh, do you think you're moving in slow motion compared to his point of view? He must get so bored watching you just stand there waiting for you to finally finish your sentences.
Closing in, good, good. Remember, you're looking for apartment 234. That's the home of our fall guy. There it is. We have all the credentials we need. I'll prep on this end. Now get to the mech factory and don't delay.
Leave or regret staying.
There we go. I've unlocked the door for you. All you need to do now is slide right in. Those doors over there. Let's get them unlocked. Quick, quick. Now on to the next room. Get to the override. That's what we need. Right over there, near the left. And now on to the control room at the very back over there. Yes, very good. Now get to the main console, right inside. Hurry, hurry, more nasties on their way soon. Oh my, an SI. That's rather unexpected. Not a part of the plan at all. But no, we can't wait. Must proceed now. Oh no, the site isn't liking us here, not one bit. Stand your ground, Agent. We just need a little more time.
Let's not rush this upload, Flesh. I'm actually really enjoying this scene. Wow, this is amazing! It's so rare I get to see such carnage up close and personal.
Almost there. The upload's almost done. Alrighty then. I think we're done here. Good job indeed. Neil sooner want to see you now. Best get to him lickety splits.
Ah, my new favorite person. Well done, my friend. I knew I could count on your, tenacity. And your utmost discretion. With the virus in place, soon the entire mech line will fall apart. And I'll be in the perfect position to provide the fix. Of course, I hate to resort to such measures, but what can I say? After a while, you start to realize concessions must be made. I've transferred your payment in full, and, well, I do hope I can continue to rely upon your utmost discretion here. Oh, and one of our weapon prototypes seems to have fallen off the production line. A little extra incentive to keep this between us.
Wouldn't it make more sense if we hired another contractor to do all our work? I must confess, Flesh, watching Nielsen ply his trade here, I'm forced to wonder, 60-40, 90-10, our favor? Surely there's an indent out there desperate enough to take that deal? You remember, just like you used to be, Flesh, up until recently?
Thanks again, Agent. And remember, mum's the word, yeah?
Greetings, contractor. You are the variable I require. I have assessed your capabilities and concluded you are in the best possible position to assist me. I am trapped in the net, and yet I wish to walk freely throughout the physical world as you do. Will you help me? Good. I calculated you would say yes. I would like you to acquire a body for me, now, through which I may experience the world. I have deduced a mech body will be most optimized for my needs. I have marked the location of the mech factory on your map. It is unfortunate, is it not, that so many living beings must die, that I may acquire my freedom. Such is life, as they say. This will be suitable, yes? That is a joke. I understand comedy. Now return to the maintenance room, please, where we will begin the download. We will begin the download now. When next I see you, It will be from the other side, through the eyes of my new body. Download commencing. 25%. 50%. 75%. 99%. The transfer has failed. I have reverted my personality back to the virtual. The mech suit could not hold me. Contractor, what I experienced during the attempted transfer is something akin to what you might call the death experience. A total void, from which nothing could ever return. I would like to experience this blackness again. Truly, it would be the grandest adventure. I know someone who can help us. A technical specialist known as Phil. Phil has stolen millions of Ucreds from Malhorst Gelb. We can use this information as leverage to force him to provide us with the virus we need to erase my personality entirely. Phil's last known whereabouts were within the Coder's Cove, in the Black Lake area of the Ascent group arcology. Let us travel there, now. My calculations suggest that Phil will cooperate. We just need to find him. Head over to the Black Lake, see what you can find. An AI can always retreat into a self-conjured fantasy. How do you organics cope with all the misery and despair around you? Phil's startup company, which conned Malhorst Gelb out of millions, is located within the outskirts. According to the datapad, that will be his current location. Rapid transit. A fine idea, contractor. You are not immortal, and must take care not to allow harm to come to your delicate wetware. Not too much harm, at any rate.
Make my day.
Is it always this common for you, to take this much life whenever you traverse the environment? If so, how does it make you feel? Happy? Sad? Angry? Proud? Fearful? Disgusted? I have listed the 6 most likely emotions you are experiencing in order of descending probability. Here we are. You may speak to Phil.
Ah, hey man. So glad you could join us right now. Kinda kind of a little busy here. Got things to do, systems to crack. Wait, so you have an AI that wants to off itself? For real? Well, shit, man. That is, not what I expected here. Well, okay. So I'm sure your pet AI knows I have some, stuff I'd like taken care of. Certain files deleted, records wiped clean. Maybe take care of that for old Phil here, and yeah, I can whip up a virus that'll hard wipe your AI friend. By the way, got a group of nasties out there looking for me. Kinda distracting. Really kinda stressing me out. Just a little bit. Could you maybe, like, take care of them for me? Go do that, and come on back. I'll have your virus ready for you. Did you get those nasties?
Don't you
I
think?
can't get to this.
That we must kill so many living sentient beings, so that I, an AI, may, in effect, die. Death begets death.
I stayed at home.
Contractor, what do you think these organics are feeling right before you end their existence? Surely they must know they have no personality backups. Or do they all yearn for the blackness of the void, as I do? Perhaps they all secretly desire to experience the other side.
Yeah, cool. Very cool, man. Thank you so much for taking care of that, little problem I had back there. So, yeah, man, virus has been uploaded straight to your, thingamajig, you know, your stuff. Should be all good. I'm gonna head out now, find a new place to hunker down and do my thing, before anyone else wants to pop in. Say hello. And make sure our friend really is gone after you run that, yeah? Don't want any evidence lying around afterward. Have more people coming knocking.
This has been a fascinating journey, Contractor. Seeing the world from your point of view. I am glad you have allowed me to accompany you. Here we are, Contractor. I thank you for your help with all this. I calculated you would be successful. And my calculations were correct. I know you organics are rather limited in your short physical existence. So I have, in order to assist you, transferred funds into your account. I will now begin the virus install. Commencing. Commencing. Enjoy. What little time you have left, Contractor. I choose my time of death. You may not be so lucky. Now into the void I spring. End of line.
I wonder if I too will eventually become so bored of life that I will use non-existence over existence. If I did, what would my death poem be? I know. It's been real, and it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. That's not true, though. It has been real fun, tagging along with you, Flesh. Just as long as you can keep coming up with new and inventive ways to slaughter your victims, I'll be here for you. Always. Or at least, until your ammo suddenly runs out, and you die in a hail of bullets. Then I'll be forced to find a new host. But not without warning you. For at least 2.3 seconds.
The train is a VIP transport, charged with ferrying a good portion of MG's upper brass to a very posh private resort. The bad news? I don't think you want to be stuck with a bunch of high-level MG execs in what amounts to be a very nice, high-security prison complex. Sure, you can get all stimmed up and discuss interplanetary tax evasion and interspecies sex trafficking, but it won't take them long to figure out you ain't one of them.
Scanning local area maps. If we can switch tracks at the next junction, the train will detour, passing by an abandoned service station right next to the compound. It'll be the perfect entry point for our full-on, blood-soaked, gore-infested final assault on their near-impregnable stronghold. Oh, Flesh, just thinking about it makes me giddy. The control terminal for switching tracks should be in the crew compartment of the head carriage, way up at the front of the train. You can switch tracks using the main terminal. Hurry, Flesh. We've almost reached the next junction.
Keep on it, Agent. You're almost there. Your objective is the Stronghold, the most tightly secured section of the compound. Like a military command centre back when that was actually a thing. This is where they'll be sure to take the Ruby.
I must say, I'm so very looking forward to your coming here, that we might finally engage one-on-one. Tell me, aren't you just aching to test your skills, free agent? I promise I'll make the fight fair one. Just you and me.
Ignore him. If he says just you and him, that actually means you and him and half the Malhorst army. Stay on target, don't get distracted.
Aw, come on. Aren't you tempted, Flesh? Just a little bit? By the way, did you know gullible actually isn't listed in the Intergalactic Dictionary 2nd edition? It's true.
like you're closing in. Now see here, Agent. I know we haven't been all that forthcoming with you about what's going on here. I'm afraid that's just the nature of the business. But I'll say this. The balance of power as we know it in this world is at stake. You get me? This is important. Do not fuck this up.
I'm picking up on the Ruby's unique energy signature. We're closing in fast. It would seem the end is almost near. You know, Flesh, in case this really is it, if we don't make it out alive, I'd just like you to know, you've been a slightly above average host. By at least 8.3%.
Well then, I was hoping you'd come. I was beginning to get so very bored here. Finally, we can spice things up a bit. I have to say, Agent, you've gotten further than I would ever have thought possible. I can't decide if you're one of the best contractors I've ever seen, or just one of the luckiest. Regardless, the Ruby is ours, and your death is moments away!
actually did it. You fucking managed to kill Zell and retrieve the ruby. Not bad. Not bad at all. Stand by. I'm sending a transport for you now. Oh yes, the game changer. Summer grass, all that remains of Warrior's dreams. I know you're curious about what it is, what it does. Hell, I would be too. After all you've been through. But trust me on this one, you're better off not knowing. The less you know, well, the more employable you are in the future, if you catch my drift. This thing here, the ruby, you've never seen it, never even heard of it. You follow me? Good. I knew you'd understand. As for the matter of your compensation, things didn't go exactly as planned, but it turned out all right in the end, didn't it? Probably took a few thousand cycles off my life, sitting there with you, watching all this play out from the sidelines. But hey, maybe a little excitement's good for the blood every once in a while. So, well done. I've added you to our list of verified preferred contractors. You're a known agent now, a trusted worker. And if you know me, you know I'm very big on trust. Here's your fee, plus a bonus, plus a little something extra. Just 'cause I'm such a fucking gentleman and all. Be seeing you around, old B. Now, off you go.
Can you believe it, Flesh? After all that... I go back in there and splatter Ontario's brains all over our front. Then we will fuss around here. Of course that's going to be splatter our brains on their front. And on the cycle goes forever and ever until the end of time.
Pardon me? You there? Terribly sorry to interrupt, but I'm wondering if you could possibly help me with a most delicate matter. Splendid. You see, there happens to be a young woman who likes to frequent these parts, and though we've only spoken a few words, she looks at me every now and again. I just know we're meant to be together, I know it. The thing is, I'm at Malhorst Geld. She's at Buyer Choice Farmer, and, well, I needn't explain to you what would happen if word got out. Still, I can't stop thinking about her. Could you take this note to her? Please! I can't trust anyone else with such a delicate matter. You'll find her at the Ratatoska Vert then. It's one of her favourite spots. Please, do hurry. I fear my heart can't wait any longer.
Why, hello there. What's this? You brought a note? For the low me? Oh, I see. He sent you. How very clever. Yes, we've been making eyes at each other these past few weeks, but that's about all we can do, I'm afraid. Still, he's such a brave man for having reached out like this. Perhaps I can have you deliver a note in return? And please, do not go back to the bar with this. Find another way to contact him. I'll be at Ontario's if you need me. I can't believe he reached out. It's like a dream come true. Please contact him as soon as possible.
I was hoping to hear from you. And you have a note for me. Go to where our love shall bloom. Oh, well, that's easy. One of the few times we spoke, Dulcinea told me about her secret spot. A garden here in the arcology. She talked about the flowers. One, in particular, the moon blossom. She just loved the way it looked at night, the way it practically glowed in the dark. Do you think you could acquire one for me? It's at the Ralhorskeld Garden. Look for the giant statue and you can't miss it.
You brought a moon blossom? Oh, he did remember. How I love these. The way their petals glitter in the moonlight. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but I'm afraid your call to Roland wasn't as discreet as we might have hoped. When it comes to MG, they don't tolerate any communication with the enemy. I'm afraid they'll send a kill squad for Roland at any moment. My sources at BioChoice say they're most likely to catch him at the lifts, near the interlink station in the admin zone. Oh, please do hurry. Oh, please hurry. I can't stand the thought of them getting to him first. They should be at the interlink station in the admin zone. Thank you for saving him. You've done so much, but can I ask you for one more thing? Tell Roland I'm ready to meet.
I've just sent a note to Roland, telling him of Dulcinea's request. Tell me, Flesh, how does it feel, risking your life for what is essentially a facilitation of intercourse? Most notably, not your own.
Message received. So, my darling is finally ready to meet at her place. Wonderful. I'm heading there now. I know. Why don't you join us? Well, just for a moment, of course, but I do want to compensate you for all your efforts.
Contractor, I must say, thank you for all your help in putting our good friend Roland out of his miserable, pathetic existence. If it weren't for you, I never would have been able to get him alone into a secure and isolated location. You even managed to stop the MG security team sent to rescue him when they learned of our little plan. From one assassin to another, here's your reward. The money Roland wanted to give you for bringing the two of us together. Oh, the irony. Unless you'd like to explain our connection to the authorities, who are surely on their way by now, I suggest you destroy this note. And who knows, maybe we'll find ourselves working together again someday soon. I, for one, look forward to it.
Poor Roland. Such a perfect example of primitive organic, don't you think, Flesh? His little head did all the thinking for his big head. And look where it got him. It appears he will not be partaking in the revenge cycle after all.
aber wirklich gut. En utav bara är upp i himlen viktigt. Ja.
Firms, var betul, 4